Hi, I'm Pantazi. Today we're going to talk about the Weiqi Sanseiru. Now, Weiqi is the name of the individual that brought this particular art, Pangainun, back from China to Okinawa. His name was Kambun Weiqi, and when he brought this system in, they named it Weiqi-Ru after his name and his bringing it to Okinawa out of respect. Now, this style is very animalistic in nature, and it has some very unique attributes to it. It has some very unique actions. The katas are unlike any other. Now, they studied the katas that you've heard about in many martial arts, like Sanchin, Seisan, Sanseiru, Suparenpai, okay? And they have other forms as well that were developed as extra training devices by Weiqi himself. Now, the Pangainun was only the 3 kata, and the 4th kata, or Suparenpai, was brought in or discovered as a missing kata because Kambun Weiqi only spent 10 years of study over in China. So there, some people believe that this is the missing kata, okay? And it makes sense in the numerology aspects because you have Sanchin, which is 3 battles. You have the Seisan, which means 13. You have Sanseiru, which means 36. And you have Suparenpai, which means 108. And numerology played a very important part in the Chinese culture and also into the Dimaka Kyusho. Okay. Now, when you're getting into these forms, the Sanseiru in particular has got some really nice actions with it. Now, if you took a look at prior films I did for the Weiqi system or the Pangainun system and the Shichin of the Bubishi and the tools of the Bubishi, the 6G hands, being the iron bone, the iron palm, the iron sword, the single blade of grass hand, the blood pool hand, and the iron claw. Those hand techniques are all what the Weiqi katas are all about. And you saw a movement that went down into in the Sanchin, and it used 2 blood pool hands. And then you saw it in the Seisan that came up like this, okay, completely opposite of what the Sanchin application is. Now, it's the same hand tool, okay? You're using the same blood pool hand, but you're using it in 2 different directions, one sinking down, one rising up, okay? And they look sort of similar when you're doing them, either sinking or rising. Okay, it's all on how you look at it. Now, the Sanseiru has it in a similar pattern to the Sanchin, but it adds another weapon into it, all right? And it attacks one of the Shichin, like I mentioned, but it also causes the Shichin to have far more devastating effects. Now, if you saw the film I did with Dr. McClintock on the dissection of this Shichin target and the tools and the technique that I applied from Sanchin in one of the Sanchin courses I gave with Master Chip Quimby, you saw the devastating effects of it, and you heard about how it could separate the lymph node from the duct of the heart, okay, and cause major fluid buildup and retention and chronic problems, if not death, for the individual, even if treated, okay? So a very dangerous, very powerful technique. And we applied it again. We got the action to work in the Seisan and then now in the Sanseiru, but with an added power. And you see it playing in the background, the form, the Sanseiru. And in the description of this, I just want to show you that there are escalations in these katas. Okay, so it's not just like, okay, I have Sanchin to make myself strong, the Seisan to give myself better balance and speed and power, and then the Sanseiru to give me more fluidity, like the dragon, and the Super Impai. They really haven't classified it, but it is, in my opinion, for the development of a tool that hadn't been used really in the Weiqi system. It was the missing hand, the sixth G hand of the iron palm, and that's where I see the Super Impai coming in. So they all forged these tools and these techniques based on the Bubishi, based on the Shichin of the Bubishi, the blood targets of the Bubishi, and in certain ways and methodologies. So again, just keep looking at the katas, because every time you look at a kata, every time you perform a kata, it should be teaching you something. Now in the beginning, when you get a kata, of course you're just trying to get the actions down. You're listening to your instructor on how to do it to get to your next level, you're testing and whatnot, and that's all well and good. But once you have that kata down, it is yours. It is up to you to find out what's in that kata, and then let that kata start teaching you. All the information you need is in the ancient Bubishi. All the information you need is within Kyusho. You've got the tools, you've got the targets, you'll understand your kata.